Good evening, Raskin Jewers. Hope you're doing alright, 'cause it's time for the 48-hour analysis. Basically, in this video, I'm going to look at the current skins in the Rust store, make comparisons to previous Rust store skins, and get a good idea in regards to how much will each of these skins sell by next Thursday. And then knowing that, I'll then question, are these skins still holding up to being perfectly fine investments? Are there any potential problems that you need to be aware of? So sit back, relax. I'm going to start yapping. Right, so Christmas Week 1 Rust store for 2024. By default, I said it in my predictions video, I said it in my Rust rotation video, Christmas skins, they don't tend to be very nice investments, or at least in the short term. All of these skins are expected to drop off pretty hard once it's out of season. Once Christmas is over, people don't care enough for them. They are expected to reach a very low point around, usually it's March and April time. If you look at those skins again around that period of time, you'll probably be able to pick these up at their cheapest ever prices, and then you hold on to them until the next Christmas. And by then you might have seen all of these skins potentially double in price. Ooh, so yes, that's the way you should go about it. But we still need to figure out how much each of these are likely going to sell by next Thursday, and of course that does have an impact on the price. So, first up, here we have the first 24 hours of sales, and yes, the Gingerbread Man Rug was the top selling skin with just over 10,000 subscribers. Now, I should make this comparison. Let's go compare the holidays. Halloween week 1, remember this? Now, of course, the Ghost Guy's poncho and head wrap, that almost did 13,000 subscribers, so clearly, this had higher highs, but overall with its sales, on average, it does look like Christmas is performing better. All of these skins you see here, on average, selling better compared to the week 1 of Halloween. Alright, cool, that's nice to be aware of. So, Gingerbread Man Rug, that was a skin that kind of confused me. Watch my Rust rotation video to get a good look at that and kind of understand what I'm trying to say. Looks uncanny to me, so give it a good watch if you want. And of course, Red Christmas Grenade. The first grenade skin to be introduced to Rust in about 7 years, and well, it did sell quite a fair bit, didn't it? But it's also a concern in regards to, is it potentially selling too much? We can't compare this to anything else. You can't compare it to the other grenades, because they came out 7 years ago when there's hardly any people playing back then. So, okay, we could still try and figure out how much it'll sell, and from there, question if it's too many in comparison to actual genuine demand. Because consider this, how often do you think you're actually going to be skinning your grenades? We'll talk about that in a bit, clearly. And Frosty's Locker, not selling too much, not really, especially when you consider that the fridge sold over 20,000 subscribers. How much will this potentially sell by next Thursday? Well, we'll be figuring it out, won't we? Right then, so of course, across the board, all the skins are selling quite nicely, but of course we do need to try our best to figure out, alright, how much are each of these going to actually sell by next Thursday, with a decent estimate. Right then, so let's now hop over and take a look at the first 48 hours of sales. Now, just to be a little bit more clear with you, it is a little bit later than 48 hours. It's like a couple hours. I'm sorry. But you shouldn't really expect that much of a difference in regards to the subscriber counts and whatnot. So yeah, everything seems to be in the exact same position. All right, cool. Right then, shall we get started? Shall we go through all of these skins in order of what we see based on sales at the moment and try and figure out how much each of them will sell potentially by next Thursday? Gingerbread Man Rug. Right, so of course you did over 10,000 subscribers after the first 24 hours of sales, but it looks like you've only done like an extra 4,000? Another day later, maybe a lot of people were very interested initially, but it probably dropped off, well, pretty quickly there. Alright then. So anyway, back over to here, looking at the Gingerbread Man Rug. Over 10,000 subscribers. Can we compare to anything else in the recent weeks? When I'm looking. You could probably look at Commando Tier 2, just not the kilt. You could also look at Cybercore MP5. And you know what? They did have a lot of demand. They did sell quite nicely. Maybe this is actually a perfectly fine thing to consider comparing to. So let's hop back over to here and literally look at the previous week. And as we can see at those skins, you can see Commando Helmet, Commando Vest, and Cybercore MP5. They all did over 20,000 subscribers. Now this is kind of like almost 21,000, and this is going all the way up to 23,000. So maybe I'll generalize and say 20 to 23,000 subscribers for that Gingerbread Man Rug. Okay, you know what? That's not too bad. For a top-selling skin, that's not too wild, not too crazy, especially when you compare it to all the backpack skins we've had quite recently. Yeah. Right then, so Gingerbread Man Rug, with that amount of sales, are you going to be okay? So I've been looking at the rugs quite recently, and lo and behold, they're actually not doing too bad. This is a $1.49 skin. It's not that expensive. That is like the default price for a deplorable, and yet it's still abnormal, right? It's still abnormal, so that's also a very useful thing for us. But look at the Shadowborn rug, the Blinds rug, the Respawn Allegory Fresco, potentially maybe the skin of the year with its wonderful piece of art. And then, of course, you also have Dragon Fan rug. Now, yeah, that was a holiday-themed skin. That is more of like a decoration rather than a rug, but it's still a rug. Anyway, these skins are working out perfectly fine, but this Gingerbread Man Rug, would you look at it and say, wow, that's art? I don't want to sit there and say that. It's not. It's supposed to be like a joke thing on your wall. Well, again, I'm not like being mean. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. So, is it going to be utilised in a way where people are going to try and trick people? Gingerbread! I don't know. It just kind of really feels out of place for like normal Rust. Is it going to be appreciated like from here and now forever? And with over 20,000 subscribers, that being the bare minimum sales, is that potentially be a little bit too much in comparison to actual genuine demand? I don't know. It's so silly. Look at it. So look, listen. $1.49. If that went down in price, I honestly don't think it'll go down by that much. Maybe about 50 cents. Oh, well, it's me. It's down to $1. But it's also a lot easier for it to rise up in price. So I do recall all of these rug skins. At one point, they were all down pretty bad. They were all down in price a little bit. But now all of them are doing very, very nicely. When times are good, things do well, sell well. And when times are bad, oh no, oh woe is me. So yeah, Christmas themed? Yeah, it is. Is it going to go down in price regardless? Yeah, it is. So looking at that, on Wednesday, when we're doing the abnormal barders, look in the description right now. You'll see links to all my socials, most notably my Twitch. On Wednesday night, 9 PM London time, I'll be streaming and we'll be discussing all the prices for these Christmas skins. But by default, we've said it in the predictions video and the Rust rotation video. We know all of these Christmas skins will go down in price. It's more of a case of trying to figure out how low will they go, and then we'll consider prices. There is an interesting little comparison I could do to last year, because we did have a gingerbread bearskin rug, didn't we? Now that's a little bit different because it does give you quite a lot of comfort. And we also don't really have that many bearskin rugs that are in the game. It wasn't that week, it was week 1. Well, sorry about that. I'll go do this then. Yes, SUMM has some nice easy access to quickly flick through all the previous Rust doors. Just use that time notch in the top right there, and you can easily look at all the Rust doors based on years and whatnot. So gingerbread bearskin rug. I just want to bring this up to you. Right now it's selling for $2.55. A couple of weeks back it's selling for $3. But February, March, April time, how low did you go? Well, it went all the way down to about, let me remind myself, about 80 cents. In the middle of March, it was selling for about 80 cents. But of course, in the lead up to next Christmas, the anticipation, it slowly climbed, and then spikes, yes. So I can't help but assume this is probably going to be how the Gingerbread Man Rug is going to behave, all right? I've kind of said a little bit too much. This is something I should be saying for the Abnormal Bilders stream, but with what's going to happen there, very likely will happen to all of these as well, all right? So just pointing that out. So, yeah, I don't think it's going to matter too much if it has over 20,000 subscribers. It's going to go down. Will it go down to 80 cents? We'll question that on Wednesday night. Understood? Right then. So let's put that aside. Let's now talk about the Red Christmas Grenade. So as I already said, this is the first grenade skin to be accepted in 7 years, and we are going to probably struggle. Do you see yourself wanting to skin this a lot? Now, here's an interesting detail that happened. When you look at this thing, like, do you see this image right there? Nice and shiny. That looks like an actual nice little bauble you'd put on your tree. However, it doesn't look like that in game. What was wrong? What's up? So here's the weird thing. These have been broken for a very long time. And I also saw this on Playrust subreddit. Someone actually pointed this out. The spec gloss on this is broken. And when you look at it in third person, you can't see the skin. Facepunch have acknowledged it, and on the commits, they've actually put in some fixes, and it looks like that potentially will be coming out on Monday when they introduce the Christmas update. So, yes, this will actually look a little bit better. Okay, that's going to be interesting. But still. How many people are actually going to want to skin their grenades? And do remember, when you throw it, kaboom! Oh, it's gone. Oops. There you go. I've said this with satchel charges, but then I realised satchel charges are actually doing pretty nicely at the moment. So, hey, that's nice to see, but we don't get that many grenade skins, do we? No. And as you can see of all the ones that came out this year for satchel charges, they're doing pretty good. Up 1%, down 7%, up 9%, down 4, up 4%. Now, if this was the same time last year, it would probably look more like that. Yeah. But no, they are doing good. So, all right, maybe my, how I'm perceiving this is incorrect, and I'll accept that. So, all right, you know what? I want to hear you. Feel free to comment below. Are you going to want to skin your grenades? And do you want to see even more grenade skins? And what collection would you like to see make more grenade skins? Black Diamond Grenade would be that'd be pretty sweet, wouldn't it? That'd be pretty sweet. Studded diamonds all over the grenade. You would never want to throw it. You want to keep it. Anyway, like a Fabergé egg. Ooh, okay, anyway. So focusing this, let's talk about how much it's likely going to sell by next Thursday. So back over to here. As we look at this, it did just over 9,500 subscribers. Is there anything we can compare to? Well, I'm looking. Is there anything that was very close to 9,500? Maybe I need to go a little bit further back. Let's go back to Halloween. All right, so 8,700. Cool. I've got to go a little bit more ahead. 9,900 there, maybe. And then over to here. Oh, I can't seem to find anything super great. So maybe, come on, 9,800 Metallic Beast? That probably is the best thing we're going to have. So yeah, you know what? Let's go do that. And I already remember how much that sold. I believe it was just over 20,000 subscribers. So as we hop over to here and take a look, yes, literally just over 20,000 subscribers. So just to kind of generalize, I'd say between 19 to 21,000 subscribers for the grenade. Is that too much or is it enough? So yeah, this is the question of, again, how many people are actually going to want to skin their grenades. Maybe it didn't happen too much because, you know, Hedge, take this into account. These are kind of expensive. Oh yeah, I'm just going to spend $60 on an unholy grenade and always skin it. Yeah. So yeah, from here on now, maybe this opens the floodgates and we get a lot more grenade skins being produced and accepted. So we'll see. But yeah, 19 to 21,000, maybe it'd be all right. But if we suddenly start seeing more and more grenade skins being produced and accepted, that's not going to look so special anymore, is it? Also, Christmas theme, I guess you can say. I mean, it's not like blatantly, like there's a huge Christmas tree and a snowman on there and whatnot. It's just a nice, cool, shiny looking grenade, if, you know, when it's fixed and whatnot. It's also not abnormal. That's another concern. That is not abnormal. So Wednesday night, we're just going to have to make a decision. But even then, I'm still leaning more towards I'm probably just going to do a buy order. I feel like that's the smartest way to go about it. If you're not confident, you're not fully confident, stick with a buy order. So that's how I'm going to approach it. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Ice Vortex Furnace. So this is an actual collection here. As you can see, Ice Vortex with the satchel charge and the garage door, looking ever so nice and cool. Now hopping back over to here. Let's go see how much that did after the first 24 hours of sales. 7,700 subscribers almost. So if I had to do a comparison, well, we got that furnace there. Oh, that's an awkward time in a furnace after a furnace. Anyway, I think, you know what, maybe that is going to probably be a perfectly fine thing to compare to. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. They're both furnaces. So, of course, how much did the otherworldly furnace reach by Thursday? Well, that did 15,000 subscribers. So if we were to generalise, I'd probably do 14 to 16,000 subscribers. Cool. But from there, is that too much? Probably. We've had quite a lot of Christmas-themed furnaces in the past. By default, I am expecting that to drop in price. Not going to doubt that. But we do have like other snowman-themed furnaces that are going to be like perfectly fine to make comparisons to. So if I could remember, here we go, yeah, Snowman Furnace. Literally in the name. That sold at a standard $1.49 price. Deplorables sell at $1.49 usually. And yeah, as you can see, it's still slightly below its Rustall price. Now, this is probably more of a case of, as you can see, other people started to unload all of their stock. Yippee! Was it at a higher price at all? As you can see, yes, it was. And then it started to go down a little bit. It's definitely not going to be as high as it ever was in the past. But yeah, it's still kind of always getting close to its Rustall price at the very least. So, all right, you know, that's probably a very nice thing to see. But of course, do not forget, once it's not Christmas anymore, lowest point March. Oh, wow, that went all the way down to about 60 cents. And it went all the way back up to $1.40 this year. See, you know, with the current Rustall, you can make loads of buy orders and whatnot. But, you know, don't forget about all the older Christmas skins. You can still do buy orders on them. Just look and see how they behaved this year around March, April time and put down some more buy orders. There's plenty of things to chase after. Just pointing that out. So, all right, yeah, that is going to go down in price. But how low will you go? I don't know if it's going to go down to 50 cents, but maybe. Can't doubt it. So, all right, yeah. With about 14 to 16,000 subscribers, we'll keep an eye on it. But the current sales it's at now, is it actually potentially still going to surpass that? We'll find out then. So for what it is, perfectly fine looking skin, but still expected to go down in price. So cool. Gingerbread House Garage Door. I would not be surprised in the slightest if we see some more Gingerbread House skins being produced in the future. I was kind of surprised this was accepted instead of the Phase Gingerbread skin. No offense, but over the past 4 years, he's had like 4 gingerbread doors accepted. So just saying, maybe we'll see that next week. Anyway, Mr. Cowell Legend, congratulations with your garage door being accepted. It is a perfectly fine, nice, quaint, comfortable looking door. But how much will it sell potentially by next Thursday? Time to figure that out. So let's go hop back over to here and take a look and see after the first... Oh, wow, it's actually climbed up. It's gaining momentum. 7,500 subscribers. You know what? It's in pretty much the exact same position as the Furnace, but it is gaining momentum. But yeah, 14 to 16,000 subscribers is probably going to... It's probably going to be more on the lower end. So whilst that might potentially go up to about 16,000 subscribers, this will probably maybe end up around 14 to 15,000 subscribers. But with a generalised expectation, 14 to 16,000 is what we're expecting. Now let's just quickly remind you of the gingerbread door collection, because that might be a nice thing to do a quick comparison to, because we already have a gingerbread themed door. Gingerbread door collection, produced by Mr. FaZe. He did submit an armoured double door. Maybe we'll see it next week. We'll see. Anyway. So get a good look at all of these. Now let's look specifically at the garage door over here. And as you can see right now, it's currently sitting here at $1.62. It actually sold in the Rust store back in 2022 at $2.49. Ooh, so it hasn't climbed all the way back up to its Rust store price. It's a bit unfortunate, but then you look at all the listings and, oh yeah, I can probably see why it went back down in price again. Anyway, so... if we could look at its history, yep, look at that. Christmas last year, and then, of course, springtime this year. Oh, no. That went all the way down to about 80 to 90 cents. Wow. So, yep, just pointing out, look at these older Christmas skins as well. They go down in price again all over the place again. So it's a routine pattern that keeps happening over and over and over. What happened here is fully expected to happen to this as well, all right? So you've been warned, but... shouldn't be too concerned. And at the end of the day, if you like the skin, buy it, use it, enjoy it, support the skin creators, keep them nice and motivated, keep wanting to put out nice creative designs in the future. But if you're trying to make an investment, buy maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, even 100 of these skins, maybe try and figure out what's the best price for around, March and April time. Just saying. Cool. So that right there, 14 to 16,000 subscribers, shouldn't be too bad. And when we compare it to those other gingerbread doors there, it's really not that bad. So, all right. Hopefully you'll climb up ever so nicely over the course of 2025. Now we can look at the Frosty's locker. So we've never had... Actually, no, Hedge. You're about to make a mistake there. We have had a Christmas-themed locker skin before. It came out years ago, though. So there you go. Christmas locker 2019. Sold at $1.49. Currently, right now, sitting at $7.33. Wow. But that was years ago. And also, that only did 10,400 subscribers. This right here has already got 11,000 subscribers. Oh. Well then, it's got another 5 days in the Rust store. Right, so this is a collection continuation to the fridge. I made mention of that earlier. Over 22,000 subscribers. Interesting. But at the current rate of sales this is, showing, this might be one of the lowest selling locker skins this year. You should also take into consideration the locker skins we've had this year, Neon Collection and Forest Raiders. Well, all right, fair enough. But we are still, going to sell more than Nukerum, and wow, that still went down in price. That's a bit of a sad sight to see. Anyway, back over to here. Let's go truly find out how much this will be selling potentially by, Thursday. So we've already acknowledged that this has, lost some traction. The garage door has ended up selling more than the locker over the course of the past 2 days. Oh, well, day. Sorry about that. But with the current sales that we see there, and of course over to here, I think... it's going to be very close again. It's going to be 14 to 16,000 subscribers. Like, this might do 16, this might do 15, and this might do 14. At the end of the day, with that amount of sales, is it too much? I don't think it'll be too much of a problem. But I will point out, these have gone down in price. This is definitely going to go down in price. How low will it go? Well, we can look at the state of the Frosty's fridge. Because whilst that's doing very, very nicely at the moment with a price of $4.50, that at its lowest point was about a third of the price. As we go back to springtime this year, look at that low point. That's about $1.30, $1.40, okay? So the locker, wouldn't be surprised if the exact same thing happens to it like this. But next year, do you reckon we'll see another Frosty skin potentially being accepted? I'm not sure what else they can do. They'll probably put out something very impressive that'll still be accepted. Maybe a small box that's like a snow globe. I don't know. But I'm looking forward to being impressed. So we'll see how that turns out. Anyway, that is going to be selling quite a fair bit less than this. I still think the behaviour of what happened here is going to happen to this still. But with only so much being bought, only so much in circulation, all the better for it to rise up in price. So it'll reach a low point, but it might instantly pick up very nicely, and over the course of like the summer of 2025 and whatnot, it trends upwards ever so nicely and graciously, and by Christmas time next year, it's probably doubled in price. We'll see. It's nice to be optimistic, but again, how low will it go? Probably 80 cents as well. This is also not abnormal, so that's a bit of a worry. But yeah, maybe it's going to be 14 to 16,000 subscribers. That is the estimate. So, all right, cool. Let's move on to the next skin then. Gingerbread Jackhammer. So I made quite a fuss about this when I first saw it. The first Jackhammer skin to be accepted in all of 2024. It's December, yeah. Now get a good look at that ever so delicious looking design. Oh yes, the icing, so delicious. But yeah, look at all the Jackhammer skins that came out over the past years. We really don't have many of them. Now take this into consideration. Do you think we'll get a lot more Jackhammer skins introduced in 2025, or will it potentially be even less? Now I am taking into consideration Twitch drops. Do consider that. But yeah, I have seen quite a lot of interesting designs being made in 2024, but only now do we see one being accepted in an actual Rust store. Okay, So, with that, it's, I don't know, this one's going to be a little bit odd. So, considering that it's very close to the locker here, I think I'll probably just generalize it and say I'm expecting this is going to probably do, it's going to probably do 13 to 15,000 subscribers. I mean, it's really close here, and it's also really close over here as well. But yeah, that seems to be like a perfectly fine suggestion. Now, considering that, and after what I've just said, maybe that has a very interesting future ahead of it. Because if we do not see that many more Jackhammer skins being produced, a lot of people just probably instantly take a liking to it. Maybe it never even goes down in price that much. But there is a good comparison to make, and that is the Nutcracker Jackhammer. Look at all the Jackhammers, all the marketable ones are in the Positive Acceptor, Love Injector, and Nutcracker Jackhammer. And this, of course, is a Christmas themed one. But that did 21,000 plus subscribers. Now let's go see how it behaved over the past year. So, as you can see, there's only 39 of these listed on the Steam market. Lowest listing is $1.68. And over to here, as you can see, in the past, it's had some pretty nice, moments where it goes up in price quite nicely. But, of course, then it goes back down again. Now, in the summer, actually peaked up in price quite nicely over there, almost $2. But now, we're getting close to $2 again. But this appears to be its high point. So, with the current expectation that the Gingerbread Jackhammer is going to sell maybe about 75% of this. Okay, maybe the Gingerbread Jackhammer will behave a little bit better. But do be aware, this did drop off pretty badly, and at its lowest point, it appears to be at $1. Now, of course, when you looked at all the other Jackhammer skins, they really don't go down in price that badly. So, okay, a smart barter will definitely help us out. But maybe it does perform just a little bit better compared to that, maybe. We'll see. But, yeah. A lack of Jackhammer skins would definitely help that out. So yeah, 13 to 15,000 subscribers will be my bet. Let's now move on and talk about the Polar Bear Rock. Right, so in the current position, it's sold just a little bit less compared to this, but I think we will do a comparison this time. So yes, with the initial sales, that did 6,900 subscribers almost. Can we do a comparison? Is there anything close? Oh look, Danger Zone sleeping bag. I think that would probably be a perfectly fine thing to make a comparison to. So, to the previous week, how much did that sell by the end of the week? And that did just about 14,000 subscribers. So I guess we can also say 13 to 15,000 subscribers for our Polar Bear Rock. Now, take this into consideration. How nicely will this be appreciated as time goes on? Because you take a look at it and you think, oh, look at so cute. Pat the head. I think this actually will be a nice skin for the future. But can it still go below its roster price? Probably will. But then also bring up something I brought up with my predictions video, my roster rotation video. The cute animal designs for rock skins tends to be the skins that they're the ones that actually retain value and stay in the positive. Let's go show this off real quickly. So as I look at all the rock skins over the past 2 years, what do you notice? Oh look, the cute animal right there up 44%, and the fat little pug dog. It's in the positive, and you got the fat hamster. It's in the positive. Capybara, unfortunately, he went down in price. But the point still remains. These animal-themed rocks seem to be what people approve of, and all the other ones, meh. Sorry to say, but you can see that pattern right there in front of you. Even when you have like skins from collections and whatnot, meh. All right then, and of course, take into consideration we also have some very nice-looking Twitch drops that people probably just want to use instead. Oh, okay, but anyway, Polar Bear Rock, a very nice cutesy design. but comparing the expected sales to the Harbour Seal Rock, which funnily enough was made by the same skin creators. Anyway, that's going to be about 75% of that sales. And that just kind of went instantly up in the positive. Will people appreciate Polar Bear for all of 2025? Will they have enough Coca-Cola to feed him? I don't know. But I'm definitely looking at that with a strange sense of positivity, especially now that I've made the consideration that it's going to probably do about 13 to 15,000 subscribers. Interesting, very interesting. I might be chasing after that skin first, and yes, I do believe that it is abnormal, so that's a very interesting thing to chase after on Wednesday night. Feel free to come and join me, 9 PM London time, on my stream, which is linked in the description. So yeah, Polar Bear Rock, you're looking very, very, very intriguing, but we have to move on. Gift Stack Backpack. So this right here probably is the most interesting skin to talk about today because, number one, this is definitely going to be the lowest selling backpack skin. As you can see, with its current momentum, it's really not getting close to any of these other skins here. Like, I don't think we're getting anywhere close to the large hazmat backpack. Let me just say that. Especially when we've kind of sat here and said like the most recent skins, they're going to be doing about 13 to 15,000 subscribers. But when you look at the sales here and here, oh wow, they're like incredibly similar. So let's just go back over to here real quickly. And if we could just see 6,900 almost, and that. Where are you? Oh, you're a little bit ahead. Sorry about that. I was looking below. Okay, no, that was just a little bit ahead. But of course, the Polar Bear Rock did eclipse it, which kind of leads me to believe that maybe people just fatigued from buying backpack skins quite recently. Yeah, I probably will stand and sit here and say this is still probably going to be 13 to 15,000 subscribers. All right, maybe it might end up on the lower side in regards to how much it will sell. But Christmas-themed backpack. We haven't seen this happen before. Backpacks only just recently became skinnable. So this is going to be a learning experience because I really don't know how low it potentially will go. No, I have no idea. Sorry to say, I have no idea what's going to happen here. But it is selling at $1.99, which isn't too expensive. Compare that to some of the other backpacks we've had. It's probably one of the cheaper ones by default immediately. But even then, will it still go below its Rustler price? Will it still go down in price to a low point some point around February, March, April time? Well, keep an eye out for the upcoming video where I talk about the progress of the backpack skins, because the point I've been saying so much is there will be more backpack skins introduced and accepted, and the original ones, unfortunately, will be slowly losing interest. Now, of course, you have to take into consideration that's a Christmas-themed backpack. Are you going to care about Christmas themes in March or June or August? No, probably not. But yeah, you get the idea. So I kind of still worry for it, but I'm very intrigued to see how low it actually goes. So maybe the safest option is just to do a $1 bar order. Maybe. And again, that probably still wouldn't be the cheapest backpack because when you look at Hardsuit, $1.12, that did 31,000 subscribers. So maybe that's the lowest it could potentially go. We'll take more considerations when we talk about it on Wednesday night. But that right there, I really don't know how it's going to go. Like I'm interested, but befuddled. So 13 to 15,000 subscribers for that one as well. Now we have the Sweet Gift sleeping bag. Maybe this starts to slow down now because, of course, I'm sure many of you are well aware that we just received another batch of Twitch drops. There you go. We just received another sleeping bag for free. Yep. All you got to do is watch people. You just got to watch people streaming Rust on Twitch. That sleeping bag is also covered in Christmas lights and does glow in the dark ever so nicely. In comparison to the one we have in the Rust store, it's incredibly similar. But the point I'm trying to get across is, if that's the case, do people even want to buy this anymore? Probably not. So, all right. Much like how we had to talk about the Desert Nomad backpack like a week ago, talking about maybe it'll slow down with the Twitch drop backpacks being introduced. With that there, let's go find this out now. So as I hop back over, looking at the sales, it did 5,500 subscribers after the first 24 hours of sales. Can we compare to anything? I'm looking. You might want to say the Bird of Luck crossbow potentially. Let's also find something else. Nuke Room Locker. We did talk about that just a little bit earlier. Maybe that's a perfectly fine thing to consider. So last week, first of all, Bird of Luck. There. It's because I said locker. Sorry. Bird of Locker. No, 11,000 subscribers there. And then the Nuke Room Locker, that did 12,000 subscribers. So maybe 11, no. I'm going to sit here and say 10,500 to 12,500 subscribers. Yeah, that's probably the better way to go about it. That's really not that much. And when you look at all the sleeping bags that came out this year, that, yeah, in comparison to all of them, well, still expecting it to go down in price. Sorry to say. Christmas theme, deplorable. And with that currently being given away for free. So, yeah, can we compare to anything from the past? You got the Christmas gift bag there. That didn't glow in the dark, though. What else do we have? We also happen to have Santa's bag, only up by 3%. Maybe this is a better option. Yes, so that does glow. And as you can see, with that currently listed at $1.55, over the past year, you will find out that, yeah, every Christmas, boop, and when it's not Christmas, boo. And unfortunately, as time has gone on, it's gradually going down in price because we keep getting more and more options. Yep. Well, for this Christmas, we've already got 2. So, yeah, that very likely will be the case with our brand new marketable sleeping bag. So, yes, with that one right there, it's probably still going to end up being like an 80-cent barter, isn't it? Even when it's only done about 10,500 to 12,500 subscribers. It's a shame, but that's the expectation. And now that you're aware of it, you have to think about how you're going to approach it. That is abnormal. That at least is useful to us. So, all right, cool. Let's move on to the next skins. We have the Frozen Santa hoodie and pants. Now, this is going to go down. This is going to go down in price, and it's going to be probably really bad. When we talked about the Halloween clothing skins, so you may remember the clothing and armor from here and here. The main thing I talked about was the only thing that's going to really help out these clothing and armor pieces is if we do see continuations appearing the next Halloween. So, of course, this also applies to the Christmas skins. We're only going to see anything like positively happen to this until we see the continuations potentially next year for the next Christmas. So you've got to wait a year to make a nice investment. So these might be selling at $2 a pop each, but I will not be surprised in the slightest if they go all the way down to less than 50 cents. Yes, once it's out season, oh dear. And I know by default people aren't exactly super enthusiastic for this proposed set here. Sorry to say, but I have been getting some responses. So anyway, 5,000 subscribers, 5,200 to be precise, making some comparisons. What do we see? Well, you could probably just say the same thing for what we said just a minute ago when we talked about that backpack. It's not too far off. All right, so 10,500 to 12,500 subscribers. But as I look at the sales right now, it is kind of drifting a bit further away. So I'm going to say 10 to 12,000 subscribers as a clarification. Right then, but as much as you might want to figure out some decent fits, like I've seen some people using the Frozen Tier 2 collection. They've used the Ice King set as well, the Tier 3 armor. That's the DLC with the throne. I'm not like super enthusiastic for it. I wouldn't be surprised if I picked these up for about 30 to 40 cents around May. It wouldn't surprise me. So, all right, cool. It is what it is. So we'll leave it at that, and we'll talk about the final Christmas skin for week 1. It is the Snowflake SAR. Currently sitting here with 7,300 subscribers almost, but with the first 24 hours of sales, that right there did just under 5,000 subscribers. Can we find something that can match up to that quite nicely from the past? I'm looking. Come on. Are we close to anywhere? Come on now. Do we not have anything that could compare to it? Apparently not. I'm looking specifically at weapons, just to clarify. Wow, this is kind of a surprise. Well, you could probably look at Gore AK-47. What about over to here? Well, we didn't get any weapons that week, did we? Nope. Maybe Gore AK-47 will be perfectly fine. You could also look at Pumpkin Exhibition. Look at this week here and go in between. So that is Halloween week 2. All right, then. Let's go over to that. Halloween week 2. Let's get a good look at you. And we'll look at those weapon skins and see how much they sold by the first day. That did... Oh, that actually climbed up quite nicely. You know what? Maybe Halloween skins probably aren't the best thing to make a comparison to. How did that suddenly just get a lot more sales towards the end? I guess it had an extra spark of interest. Well, hopping back over to here then. If we can't really make a comparison there, maybe you could probably go in between something else. Or maybe you could look at a rock. A rock and a Wolf Warrior wooden door. Maybe that might be the best thing we can do. All right then, so that is for November, 7? And what do we see? No, it's not that one. What was it? Was it November 28? Yeah, it was. It was quite recently, Hedge. Well, I'm forgetful. And by default, from what I'm looking at, I think it's going to probably be 9,000 to 10,000 subscribers. Yeah, I think that might be the way we go about it. So looking at that SAR, I'm sorry to say, but by default, it's probably going to just go down half in price like the AK. AK-47s and SAR skins do tend to behave very similar, especially when they're from the same collection. And yeah, it's a fine looking design. I've looked at it in game. I have no issue with it. But you got to expect what other people are going to behave when they look at that type of skin and whatnot. And yeah, they're probably not going to remember it. Sorry to say. Perfectly fine looking design, dead alright, but Christmas skins, once it's out of season, meh. Yeah, so that is it. So not exactly the most thrilling and positive outlook for all the skins, but it's still positive in regards to us, the investors. We know these are going to drop down to a very low price at some point, and you've got to start rubbing your hands, because, of course, long-term investments, ever so nice. And that's exactly how I approached things last year when I looked at these Christmas skins. I will assure you, all the Christmas skins you see here, don't forget about Legacy Kevlar, that was a whole weird situation last year. All these Christmas skins here, I did buy for cheaper, and I flipped them for some sweet, delicious look of profit. Well, most of them. You can see these still haven't bumped up that much, which was quite a bit of a shame, and I only bought a few of these. But yeah, that is the approach, that is the way you should go about it. It's usually, quite successful. Coming from the guy that has about $75,000 worth of Rust skins. But yeah, that is how you should go about it. So don't really need to panic about wanting to do abnormal barters this week if you don't want to. But again, you do have to put the effort into looking around at these skins again once we hit springtime. So just point that out. Cool. Right, shall we quickly look back and see how some of these skins have been behaving over the past couple of weeks? And well, last week's skins still holding up quite nicely. Quite a nice thing to see, yeah. Will it rise up ever higher with the player counts looking the way they are? Because that's been pretty good. Just saying. January. If we do see the primitive game mode actually being introduced for January 4 swipe, which appears to potentially be the case, the guy that does the animations and the videos for brand new content, he is pretty much like, he's already working on primitive game mode. I think we're seeing it for January, but at the very least, maybe it's in preparation for February. Who knows? But keep an eye on the commits. You'd have seen it for yourself, much like the F1 grenade fix I just mentioned a little bit earlier. As you can see, yeah. So anyway, so everything's lined out quite nicely, and those skins right there, they're holding up quite nicely. Good to see. Right, and for the week before that, the last Rust store for November 2024, the Blackout backpack is actually holding up a-okay. Blackout collection, who would have guessed? It's very in demand. So, yeah, only one skin down pretty bad. All the other ones doing very good. Player count's good. Blackout's good. Simple as. Hazmat, though, that has started to slip. Frozen Crypt Garage door, still holding up quite nicely. Getting into that frozen wintry theme. Yeah, I mean, okay. Yeah, it's nice to see. Looking at all the Frozen Crypt skins. Oh, yeah, well. Oh, maybe it's just a straggler. Probably. That would probably answer that. But yeah, all the other skins here, unfortunately, dropping off. Not a very nice thing to see. Popstar AK-47 doing a very, very good job of retaining its value. Most AK-47s would, of course, go down in price. That's only slightly down by 4 cents. And there's only 30 of these in the Steam market. But I am well aware that someone did walk in and buy a ton of these. Someone bought 71. They bought out like the majority of the stock that they saw here. So someone's trying to push anime onto us. We'll see if it holds. Anyway, and to complete the sets Rust store, as you can see, while some of the skins are holding up quite nicely, the majority are down. Not down terribly, but they are down. So yeah. All right. Well, it's a bit unfortunate, but if everything peaks up very nicely for January, I think we're going to have a pretty fun outcome. Us investors, the profits, we're going to enjoy them ever so. Right then. So yeah, that's basically everything. Keep an eye on the commits, as I said, and, have fun trying to make those profits. I've been seeing a lot of very random skins appear, but you should wait until after Christmas, and that's when you should consider trying to sell. Or if you have tons of skins like me, all right, maybe sell a few skins here and there, see how that goes, but yeah, you get the idea. Right, one final thing. I do want to bring this up to everybody. You might have seen it already, but I've recently gone on Twitter and I've asked everybody, hey, I've made a consideration to try and see if we could figure out what might be the skin of the year for Rust in 2024. This tweet will be linked in the description. Feel free to go watch this video. But in short, I'm asking everybody if you can help me out and sit there and say, what skin do you reckon should potentially be the skin of the year for 2024? Now, you can provide 3 options. Please make sure it's a skin made by a skin creator, not made by Face Punch, right? And it can't be a Twitch drop. It has to have been a skin that was accepted in a Rust store in 2024, or rather from December 2023 to December 2024. Simple as I'm sure. So yeah, that'll help me out, and everybody who participates, you'll be in contention to potentially win some Surgeon Scrubs. All good. So thank you very much for helping me, and thank you very much for watching me. Catch you later. See you. Goodbye.